So here we have White versus the Sicilian, Lesson 7, Part 2. We're here looking at a game between Adams and Topalov. It's the Najdorf Variation of the Sicilian, and here we have White's 8th move of a4. This advance is a regular part of White's plan in the e4, f4 center, as otherwise Black's b5, b4 might prove highly disruptive. However, if your intention is to play something like f2, f3, or g2, g4, followed by queen 2 and then queenside castle, then don't play this. The pawn belongs on a2 if you intend to castle queenside, or perhaps on a3 if Black has played b7, b5, as in the Adams game that we previously looked at. Warning, the moves a2 to a4 and queenside castle simply don't mix for White in these positions. Knight c6, kingside castle, f4, reaching a classical Scheveningen position. Adams used this exact move in order against Kramnik in the game given in the notes to move 12 below. But against Topalov, he actually preferred more of a classical move order. Queen c7, king h1. As always, White has to be alert for trouble on the dark squares. Tucking the king in the corner avoids any tricks on the a7, g1 diagonal. Rook e8. Here's the sort of disaster that can befall Black if he's careless. Let's say, for example, Black had moved bishop to d7. Then knight b3, knight a5, e5. White always hopes this pawn advance will deserve an exclamation mark. D takes e5, f takes e5, knight d5. The black knight is driven from defense of the king, because if queen takes e5, bf4 will cost the knight on a5, and the bishop on e7 after queen f5, bishop d6. Yep. So now let's back up. There we are. Knight d5. Knight takes d5. E takes d5. Knight takes a5. Queen takes a5. Bishop d3. Queen c7. Bishop d4, b5, queen h5, and White has a strong attack. So let's go back to our game. Here we are, and White's 12th move of bishop f4. White strengthens the e4 square in anticipation of Black playing bishop f8, e6 to e5, and then attacking the pawn with the rook after e5 takes f4. Bishop f8. Now, if Black had played rook b8, then queen e1, e5, knight d e2, e takes f4, knight takes f4, bishop e6, and naturally Black is keen to stop White's 16th move of knight f d5, taking possession of the outpost square. Bishop h5, a curious move designed to regain his grip on d5 by exchanging off the knights on f6. The threat is 17 knight takes e6, winning the exchange. Knight takes h5, knight takes h5, queen a5, knight f4, bishop c4, knight d3, queen d8, b3, bishop takes d3, c takes d3, bishop f6, and rook c1, with some advantage to White due to his more compact pawn center. He went on to win after Black was in too much of a hurry to escape from the pressure. So we'll back up to bishop f8 was our last move.